I think amongst the top pros, the teams will talk to each other about scrims.
Here it is.
Pretty frequently. Sorry, I'm a little upset about it.
Well, Lycan coming right out from Invictus Gaming. We've seen Lycan be a very popular hero at this tournament for his excellent ability to push lanes down.
Yeah, and also one thing is that usually you don't want to pick this hero like too early, but when there's this Night Stalker and Sanking, they don't want to pick, if either team picks the Sanking or the Night Stalker right there, it allows the next team, if they don't pick this Lycan, they would allow NewBee to get the Night Stalker with the Lycan. So, and also, that's if they pick the Sanking. And if they can't just pick the Night Stalker either, because then it enables Lycan and Sanking as well for NewBee, so they have to take the Lycan for themselves.
That's a great point, and you know, to be specific, Night Stalker, his ultimate makes the game immediately go to nighttime, and Lycan gets benefits at nighttime, so obvious synergy on the same team, but also if the opponent has the Night Stalker, so would not be surprised to see Invictus Gaming pick up the Night Stalker, as Lycan and Night Stalker as a duo has been one of, actually perhaps the most commonly picked pair of heroes.
And Bloodseeker is a very common pick to pick against Lycan. When Lycan ultis, you can ulti him with Bloodseeker, and Lycan can't really run around in the fights, which is what he really wants to do when he ultis.
There's that Lycan Night Stalker talking about, PJ.
Yeah, it's there. And I think that Darkseer might actually be a hero this game again. It looks like it could be quite strong for both sides.
It's okay for NewBee, I guess, but if IG picks it, then Bloodseeker is quite a good matchup against Darkseer, right? Because he can stay on the lane, so then they can actually leave him solo and focus on the other lanes.
Interesting that NewBee seems to have looked at what IG did last game and said, that's a great idea, we should get these heroes.
Yeah, sort of deny picks, right? I think they just really like that Bloodseeker versus Lycan matchup. And
yeah.
It used to be better though, when people used to go for this kind of right-click build with the Mom and the Armlet. Now people are going for this book and utilizing the wolves a little bit more.
Yeah, that's true.
So some of it is, I guess, taken away because you will still have those books running at you with the wolves.
Ulti them all.
Basically, what this means is that Bloodseeker or Lycan cannot depend on his ultimate form to be like doing damage throughout the game. So I think definitely going the Necro book is the way to go. That way, you know, when he does get ulted, he can still have an impact in team fights as the one position. NewBee could prepare something to help deal with those Necro books.
Yeah, what do you think? Is Witch Doctor, is that an option, or do you have something else in mind?
Witch Doctor, Crystal Maiden.
Wyvern has been one of those options that people like going against. Here's the build book.
Wyvern, yeah.
Wyvern sounds better than I think both Witch Doctor and Maiden can fall off quite fast, and it's not really reliable against it.
Both those two might struggle up against the roaming Night Stalker in the early game.
Now, Invictus Gaming has banned out Terrorblade, and I'm not really sure how to think about that ban.
Well, it's a hero that allows you to group up and push. You know, you can meta and spawn illusions, and you can go hit towers, and it allows your team to group up and take objectives, which Lycan and Night Stalker aren't super great with dealing with because they don't offer a lot of team fight. Also, Lycan is a melee hero, so if Terrorblade ever gets low and Lycan's around, you can just sunder him.
Yeah, I think Terrorblade is one of those carries that matches up really well against the Lycan, just because he goes for these illusion, he has very high armor, base armor, and he has that Sunder. So Lycan always has to run up to you. You kind of force this Lycan into building a Linken's. That's really awkward for Lycan. That's something he definitely doesn't want to do.
He doesn't need Terrorblade doesn't need mana late game.
No.
He can also have his illusions just kill the Necro book. So like auto attack it, stop auto attacking with your main hero. Let the illusions finish it off without taking that return damage.
Yeah, I'm curious if NewBee are going to go for some sort of illusion-based hero still. There's the CK still in the pool. If you would want to go that route, I'd suggest you do it.
We've seen the last
pick though.
Yeah. I think SCCC would probably play the Bloodseeker mid. I think that's what they've done in most games. It's still possible for Mugi to play Sven, which is still in the pool, up against the Lycan.
Yeah, that is also a good pick, as Packet was asking for. The good picks against Lycan, because he can just cleave everything.
Yeah, we saw EG play a lot of Lycan this tournament, and they made a priority of banning Sven whenever they had Lycan.
They probably want to wait, though, so they don't have to commit the Bloodseeker to be mid.
Yeah, so we had first pick on IG again this game. NewBee taking second pick and last pick once again.
Yeah, expecting both teams to kind of now maybe go with their 5 position supports. You don't want to reveal too much right now.
Yes,
you don't have to.
And we talked about them third picking that Bloodseeker last game up against the third pick Drow. Generally, you can at least I have felt safe picking my core or my carry after I see the enemy team's carry, because generally you want to have a good matchup between those two in the late game.
Yeah, and it's also, I guess there's two ways of doing it. You either pick it after the enemy's carry, or you pick it after you see their offlaner, because that can also be one way of dealing with it.
It's definitely a tell, yeah. Hey, look, you know, this offlaner, we can solo a carry here against this offlaner, and he'll do well on lane and hopefully have an impact in the late game.
What do you make of this Tide?
He's quite decent against Lycan on the lane, but he can't really bull him out. So both is gonna farm, I guess. If
Tide's
they're 1v1.
Tide's a strange pick. He's actually kind of known as one of the counters to Night Stalker, because he'll probably go mana boots into an early mech and potentially some Guardian Greaves, and then it can enable his team to walk down a lane and not have to worry about the split push problems that Night Stalker presents.
Monkey King coming out again for Invictus Gaming, the Baboka special. And of course, Tide Hunter, just insane with Ravage and
This
teamfights.
makes me kind of think that the Monkey King is maybe
probably
a position.
Position 1, right?
Yeah, well, 1 or 2, right? It could be either, even 3. I don't know if they've ever run that.
He talked about it in his interview, right? Baboka? He said like,
it was
oh,
good at
they kind of liked it
position
as, they liked it as 1 and 2, and he was like, but I can play it as well.
But it's more likely that Baboka will play the Night Stalker.
All of these heroes can do a lot of different things. I mean, it's not too long ago that we saw Night Stalker being run as a 3, and even a couple years ago, Night Stalker got ran as a 2 a couple times in the mid lane.
Hey man, tier 1, Night Stalker, safe lane?
Well before my time.
And I mean, at this point, you've talked a little bit about leaving possibilities open. It's relatively clear that Earth Spirit is going to be roaming, Tide Hunter in the off lane, Dazzle is the hard support. Bloodseeker could go mid or could go hard carry.
Yeah, we have Dazzle hiding behind the Tide Hunter over here. Some nice sustain, good armor. I think they're really gearing up to 5-man here, and I kind of like the Winter Wyvern. He's a great D-pusher, and he offers a little bit of team fight from that hard 5 position.
Is that also to just save the person that gets
Ruptured?
ruptured? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it can definitely prevent any physical damage from coming in.
Yeah, NewBee don't really have the best burst damage. They have this Earth Spirits who can, deal damage over time, and the Bloodseeker with his Rupture can slowly kill a hero, but they don't have the best burst right now.
Yeah.
Can any heroes for Invictus be reasonably run mid at this point?
I think Monkey King.
Yeah, Monkey King, we've seen him a couple times.
I think he's okay. Even against, generally Bloodseeker excels against other melee heroes. Because he can trade right click so much better.
I'm curious if he actually can trade with Monkey King though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Monkey King is like a pseudo melee hero, and he stacks with whatever that third spell is called.
Yeah, similarly to
Jingu
Ursa,
Mastery.
Go home.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
What do you say?
the Mastery.
Yeah,
Jingu Mastery.
Jingu Mastery. Yeah, and he trades better than anybody at that point once the life game kicks in.
Lina being banned out by NewBee.
Yeah, most likely.
Guess they want to run the Bloodseeker mid then?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Lina destroys Bloodseeker mid, or he can.
Yeah, he should, right?
It's very player dependent, I think, but a good Lina would beat up on a good Bloodseeker, I think.
Certainly looking at Invictus, Night Stalker and Monkey King, always great at roaming, getting picks. Invictus Gaming seems like it lacks a mid. Obviously Monkey King could be mid, but
I would assume a ranged hero here, probably for that mid lane.
and same for NewBee, very much so. Seems
What are you thinking? Some Invoker, or is it too slow?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe a little more control.
Right.
Wow, Tinker. Tinker Lycan. Okay, trying to delay. Yeah, late game, I would definitely give this game to IG. However, can Tinker and Winter Wyvern D-push enough to keep NewBee from going high ground?
NewBee needs some sort of catch for this Tinker. Right now, they don't really have the best ways of finding him. Earth Spirit can roll off the map and scout for that guy if you have vision of him, but
How do you feel about Storm Spirit? Is Night
That's the
Stalker
one.
sounds too much of a problem?
Then they have to put the Bloodseeker safe lane, but that's still possible.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I think
Again,
that could be fine. The supports will be pretty free to go kind of do what they want. The Dazzle can help out in the offlane potentially or mid.
And this is the benefits of having the last pick. They get to counter this Tinker, and as we said, they can choose to put the Bloodseeker mid or safe lane, so they can actually choose.
Didn't IG used to like almost first pick this Tinker like not too
Yeah,
long
it's
ago.
one of OP's, I think, like, it used to be one of his really go-to heroes.
There it is.
Storm Spirit, one of the hardest counters to Tinker. Able to find him when he's hiding in the trees, casting those marching machines.
Oh, interesting. An XXS on the Night Stalker. Perhaps going to see him in the offlane.
Called it.
It's been a real all-star. With that, the draft is now complete, and Game 3 is ready to get underway as Invictus Gaming heads in against NewBees. Casters, take it away.
Thank you very much, Day9, and indeed this final match of the series. Who's going to take it? Who's going to stay in this upper bracket and make themselves one step closer to this grand finals here at TI? These two drafts again, something a little different again. The finishers from both sides, grabbing up their mid laners. IG with the OP Tinker, NewBee with the SCCC Storm Spirit.
Throwbacks. I haven't seen an OP Tinker in quite a bit. So looking at NewBee's draft, the Tidehunter, I've seen them actually drafted a couple times. They did it once in the group stages and then once before that, and I don't remember which one, I think it was MDL. They tend to actually pair it with like a hero that can push really hard, like the Shadow Shaman, so then they can get that group up mechanic. This time they don't really have that, but they have the Dazzle, and they have good core matchups, is the big thing that I'm looking at here. Bloodseeker, extremely good versus Lycan. Storm, very good for finding the Tinker. That being said though, IG has comfort heroes, and they have very strong aggression in that laning phase. This Tinker, with Monkey King rotations, can heavily punish this Storm. So we'll see how NewBee decides to lane this one up.
I mean, what do you think about NewBee's start to the draft day? Grabbing the Earth Spirit, taking the Bloodseeker away? I mean, they saw what IG did with it last game, and NewBee, of course, definitely a team that can utilize these two heroes to the maximum as well.
Yeah, for sure. They like the way it worked, and they have a very good replay, so why not? It's a hero that's looking to be very dominant in a lot of these games, just of what he provides. Makes moves around the map so fast, a lot faster than majority of heroes. Monkey King's one of those that can kind of match the speed at which he crosses the map with the rotations.
A game that certainly feels, out of all the three that we've had, the hardest to call off the back of the drafts.
Yeah.
As both teams with a lot of potential, a lot of outs, no sort of clean cut, you know, this must be achieved to win the game. This is, you know.
IG's got to stall the game, though. That's one thing. You know, they have the Wyvern, they have the Tinker to stall the game out for late stages, but that being said, NewBee has great heroes to deal with that. The Tidehunter, the Ravage can be very relevant once there's only like a Lycan who can really buy a BKB in this matchup, in this situation. So he's going to be that one, and the Storm Spirit is incredibly good at catching the Tinker. The best hero.
I mean, they've got a lot of catch for this team, Cam.
Yeah. Earth Spirit's also super good too.
Spirit,
him. Yeah.
Vision from the Dazzle ult in the tree line. A lot of ways of hunting him down.
30 seconds to battle.
We'll see how well OP can pull it off. As mentioned, definitely one of the strongest heroes. Ones that we've not seen to come through too many games recently, but are definitely one that NewBee should be aware of his potential on the mechanical man.
I'm wondering how much KP is going to be able to get out of this bottom lane. I think Dazzle should probably start down there, since it's going to be like the Monkey King, who's very low armor, so Tidehunter can do pretty well with a secondary hero to match up. Force experience. They can just do some dual lanes, Wyvern and Earth Spirit and Dazzle just moving between two lanes, the bottom and mid and the top and mid, just to be sure that they can secure the Storm Spirit's farms. It's the same kind of thing that we always say, you know, matching the forest movements, the Monkey King and the Earth Spirit this time will be the ones to watch. And it's a core Night Stalker, so we don't see this too often. I saw Kezu played a couple times on Secret. He had some very good games on it. We'll see what XXS is able to pull off of it. It's a very different scenario when you're paired up with that Lycan, with the double Howl benefit plus darkness. Nighttime is the time for IG to fight.
Of course, once again, this mid lane going to be incredibly crucial, you know, for both sides. OP needing to make sure he gets a good timing on that boosted travel. Bottom lane, but
they get the Gush level 1.
He's being gone upon, and he'll try for the TP out. He's not going to make it. First blood for NewBee. I mean, Baboka has to be so careful with those sort of plays. Monkey King with the pretty much, what, 0 armor, level 1. He
not
did
expecting
not that.
Like, there's no way you expect that, right? Like, this guy just turned and Gush you with a Poison Touch. It's perfect by KP and by Faith. Starting that dual aggro lane, they're going to be able to put a good amount of pressure and force the rotations from the Wyvern right away. So actually, I was kind of like forgetting because we haven't seen it too many times, but Q is on one of his signature heroes. I love Q when he's been playing this Wyvern. It's one of the ones that they played a lot when they were on C-Deck during TI5.
And as you say, they definitely need Q as well as Baboka down here. As we've seen, a level 1 Monkey King in this lane can do very little against the Tide and the Dazzle.
Yeah, and the beauty of when they put this pressure on it is the Bloodseeker. They want to be able to do as much damage as possible for that thirst.
Make a go again, but immediately with the Gu, forcing back Baboka. Now they turn towards Q. And KP not phased at all by the harassment that these two supports are trying to throw his way. Very hard for IG to actually finish off a kill, even onto the Dazzle on the back lines of it all. Now he's got that level 2.
And the fact that they, NewBee, again, as we've seen from majority of their games, and majority of the times the dual pressuring, they block the pull. So there's not a great way for IG to pull the lane back. And since NewBee's Dire, you know, the Dire lane meets at a better position for KP to get more. And now Faith starts making the movements around, even stacks the Ancients to be efficient on that next rotation to help SCCC mid.
And mid lane at the moment, certainly slight edge for OP. He's getting a few denies. Yeah, with Faith's presence now in the mid lane, could look to try and turn things around a little bit. SCCC feeling a bit more confident with their haste rune. Kaka up on the high ground as well. Does have level 2 on the Earth Spirit. Could try to look to set up.
They have a way for him to like step down in the river pretty far.
Yeah. Especially with Q coming in from behind. Does have level 2.
Faith could be in some trouble here.
Gonna try and make the go. If they get the burst off, it's gonna be incredibly close. At least holding them back. Still got Kaka on the side. He's very much ready to try and make something happen.
So yeah, this is the great thing about the Bloodseeker safe lane, which a lot of teams like to do, is your supports can move it wherever they want. They can secure it right at the start, like level 1, level 2, but then afterwards, putting pressure on other lanes is usually better, just to make sure that Bloodseeker gets full solo experience and the thirst starts kicking in. Kaka wants to be able to find rotations, but there's not really great ways to do it, so back to top lane to pull, and Baboka gets the Jingu, stacks up. He's got the Jingu mastery right now to zone KP for the time being.
It didn't quite have that level 2 though. Will now have it up. And it's certainly making it a little harder for KP to lane when he's on his own. If he doesn't have the backup from that Dazzle, he certainly does have to be careful. Faith actually with a bit of an interesting wraparound here, coming right around on the mid lane, gets the poison touch, the boulder smash. Glides onto both of them, and with Kaka rolling forward, looking for Q. Boundless Strike comes out, now the potential turnaround. They do lose the Wyvern, but it's in fact IG coming out on top as OP gets a double kill, and this is absolutely huge for the Tinker, getting kills like that in the first 4 minutes of gameplay.
Baboka still having the Jingu mastery stacks when he TPs in, so getting that extra damage on that Boundless Strike is very relevant there. 615 damage plus the laser rocket, just enough to push them both over the edge.
And massive for a Tinker to get those sort of kills early on. SCCC out of the lane for the time being as well, so OP. Still early days, but definitely looking to set out to be the start that he needs to get that good timing on the bots.
Yeah, it's already quite a Tinker favored matchup, but with those rotations in, he's pulling quite far ahead of SCCC as we kind of expected. Oh, they've actually got one of the new couriers. You see that? It's actually pretty adorable. I'll be going back.
Saxon Casey scoring the items up and down the mid. Now top lane, in fact, with Q.
Burning.
He's got to go down bottom of D. Burning being made, immune there with the cold embrace. In fact, Burning, is he going to be okay? Will be kicked further away from his teammates. Burning does have the Sal.
Stun. He's actually going to be able to TP out here.
Yeah, they do not have the damage to hold him in place, and he is gone. It's a long TP, but it's a safe one. Nice reaction there for Q, and he'll only go back to the tower as well. Has the Salve ready. Burning stays in lane. It's
nighttime already. XXS already level 4 looking to get involved. They do get the scan successful though, as SCCC starts to back up.
But again, even if this isn't a successful attempt on SCCC's life, it's time where he's forced out of the lane. OP absolutely soaring ahead. 31 CS against the 18 of the Storm Spirit. This mid lane Tinker, he could be on track to getting out of control this game. They have not been able to shut him down at all in this early lane.
Yeah, and neither Burning too. You know, they got the nice kill with KP and with Faith on the Monkey King, but they're not shutting down Burning whatsoever. Just completely free farming down bottom. Even though they keep walking up and doing this damage to him, he's got the 3 points in Feral Impulse. But now, with the rotation in from Kaka,
look at this, yeah.
But it's nighttime.
They're going to get kills almost certainly. Kaka will turn with the Boulder Smash, but the Boundless Strike comes out. Kaka's down. Q sniping him there from long range with the Wyvern.
Oh, and Mugi actually TP's down too, thinking that the fight would last a little bit longer so he could get some spells off, but unable to get involved now. KP makes the way toward top to get those levels, and they're going to maybe have Mugi put the pressure since that matchup of Bloodseeker versus Lycan now, once the Bloodseeker 6 is very good.
Burning certainly having to be careful. You see a TP in once again from Kaka down towards the bottom shrine, looking to join forces again with Mugi and Faith.
This first nighttime is probably one of the more scary ones. Of course, as the game builds on, Hal gets stronger, but Q actually gets ruptured up.
It should be fine though.
Out.
Gets under the tower, has the cold embrace. Glove Right will bring him rather low, but now TP's coming through with the Boulder Smash. Okay, they'll look to dive, they will get it. OP comes in, won't have quite have enough damage on his own really, unless with the March actually, bringing Mugi down low, trying to close this gap.
Very close.
But yeah, with the three of them still there, Faith, with a multitude of options still available to keep his team alive, meaning that IG can't chase down for that, so nice little play there from NewBee. Not necessarily the burning kill that they were after, but a kill nonetheless.
A kill, forced reaction, and it lives SCCC to get some experience in the mid lane. XXS putting some pressure on now, not using the crippling fear just yet. SCCC is able to jump away, but
oh, man, the rocket! It's going to be close, but Boca comes in with a boundless strike. He's been silenced up, he can't tip away, and he's gone. Again, more involvement for OP as XXS and Baboka help him set up for something tasty in that middle lane.
It's that first nighttime. Got to make as much happen with it, with the Howl and with the Night Stalker. Burning now, ruptured again.
He's on his own. I don't think there's going to be any TP support this time. He is going to try and man up. He's got the regen, the Feral Buzz. There's the kick with the rupture upon him. Sweet little combo there for NewBee to bring him down. IG are coming in with the wraparound though, Baboka and XXS. Maybe seeing if they can get revenge. It's a hard one for just the two of them to go for, and indeed Kaka and Mugi keeping the distance. SCCC down here as well, just in case IG did look for that fight. But finally, NewBee getting that pick off they needed, shutting down Burning a little bit.
And during all this, it leaves KP top, who wasn't getting the craziest amount of last hits bottom, but now absolutely free farming, going to be building toward that mech, it does look like. And level 6 is online for that Ravage if they want to take some fights around it, but he wants to still just farm for a bit. And now it is daytime though, so 4 minutes where NewBee has some breathing room.
Definitely still, I feel the biggest issue is the Tinker.
Yeah.
I remember just time and time again in the past, so many games where teams went up against IG and Tinker, it would be first ban material. It seems like it's, maybe just not gotten through that much here at TI, but there's definitely been lands before where a lot of teams are absolutely terrified of OP's Tinker.
He is one of the best on it.
I'm just sort of getting deja vu when he has this sort of a start. He could get absolutely out of control top lane. They found KP. XXS Baboka will go in, he'll pop the Ravage. I don't know if it's enough to save him. Already 3 stacks of Jingu up on him, and they'll dive down with the Boundless Strike, burst him out. TP will be cancelled, of course, by NewBee. No chance of doing anything against these 3 up in this top lane as they get another pick off.
Fully defensive Ravage. Mugi still parked bottom, not letting Burning get free farm under the tower. Burning's just going to the jungle. But yeah, like you said, OP, he has had those games on the Tinker, but we do have to remember, they have very good heroes to find him still.
Sure.
Storm Spirit is the best one. Bloodseeker's not like the best, but he's okay, and then Earth Spirit's also very high up there. So it is a very farm Tinker, but there are things that they can deal with it. As long as it doesn't get too out of hand with this Night Stalker rotations.
Top lane. Up top again, KP. Getting pressured, Baboka's going to jump in there. They are forcing out some of these TP reactions. Kaka to come through on the Earth Spirit. So IG do hold back, but no, they're ready to go. Burning's there as well with the ultimate. They're going to go straight in onto KP. KP is almost certainly going to be gone here. Kaka just has to leave, roll out, and look to escape. Burning will chase him a little bit, but a little too deep there behind that tier 2. So a second death in quick succession on KP on this top lane. IG taking control of this top lane. They're pushing onto the tier 1. SCCC does have an invis, also a regen room bottled. Kaka back in the neighborhood. Maybe they can try and do something to hold IG off with this push. The silence is there. Moving in, they'll get Q at least. Can't quite get the cold embrace out. Do they get anything more already? Baboka out in the tree line, TP's away, and the rest of IG will escape. So maybe not to catch anything more, but they do stop the tier 1 tower push. Get IG away from that top lane.
IG's being pretty smart about how they just avoid the Bloodseeker. They recognize that he's by far the strongest hero on NewBee's lineup right now, so trying to punish any other ways that they can.
Bots now out, 10-minute boost of travel here on the Tinker.
Yeah. And they're going to have, the Rupture actually comes out top. This is a pretty deep dive. One, though,
yeah, no way that Mugi gets away with this one. He is not moving in on that.
So with Tinker, with Lycan, they have the nice synergy between the Invis Wolves when Burning does get them online. Of course, we've been seeing those come out much later, usually around like the level 10 or level 13, depending on if you go for the 3 or 4 points in Feral Impulse.
Let's see what NewBee's game plan is here. Certainly, as we saw, getting the farm, Mugi needing to find that Radiance. Actual smoke up from SCCC and Faith. Maybe they can make something happen down bottom. At the moment, only Baboka showing on this Monkey King.
Darkness gets used. Earth Spirit starts backing up the tower. Some fear there. But Boca might be the one who gets picked off.
They've got
here.
good vision around him as well with this ward. They know it's a pretty clean jump in. Boca cannot get himself out, or can he? He's trying to keep himself alive for as long as possible. Does get the boundless strike out now. OP comes in. Quick sell, shallow grave though from Faith. Immediate with the TP out.
Oh, the creep finishes off!
Oh, the range creep doing it there for IG. And he does get it, despite Faith's best attempt to escape.
Small mistake.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Kills the Invisor right in front of KP.
Again, more action for OP to be involved in. 1500 towards that blink. Again, this time.
He
the
was very
Rotom
far
Cube,
up top now.
It looks to be a little more successful indeed. He's very far out. NewBee will find the pickoff. Didn't get anything else, but Boca is there. Level 6 at the moment on the Monkey King.
NewBee's got very strong team fight now though. Ravage is online, Magnetize is ready too, and the match of IG's team fight is not
But
there.
Boca and OP, they
Hitting.
can blow up here as the Primal Spring will be off the mark. Jumping again, just trying to get vision upon Mugi. He'll look to try and chop down Boca from the tree line. Boca just throws out the boundless. Didn't quite get the initial jump with the spring that he hoped to set up for a kill. NewBee will survive. KP and Faith forcing out this middle lane. Mech very nearly done here on KP. 100 or so away from the recipe.
You can start forcing some towers off that. Important to get early towers versus Tinker, because then Tinker can't, get all that free farm from the jungle. He's gonna be going for that blink first, as we usually do see on the Tinker. Pretty close to that.
Yeah, this is perfect timing for OP. 13 minutes and nearly having blink and boosted travel. More than enough for this
Oh,
Tinker.
perfect scan coming out from NewBee. They actually catch the rotation from IG.
See how deep XXS wants to dive under the tower. At the moment, Kaka is there hiding in the tree line, but Boca can scout him out.
They have two heroes to get that flying vision coming through.
Not quite got the vision yet on that Spirit, so close. He spotted him out with that last jump. He's
there we
gonna
go.
look for him there. They found him. He'll try and get himself out of there with the roll away. Boundless strike to hold him in position, but OP and the gang jump forward. TP out, not successful. As OP picks up another killing spree now on this Tinker. Tier 1 tower taken as well.
They actually have 3 heroes that can fly and scout through the trees. The Monkey King's jumping through, the Wyvern using his flight, and as well as the Night Stalker hiding in those trees
Radiant's middle tower
is a hard option.
OP with the haste, but Boca as well. Hunting through their own jungle. SCCC is there. Still rather hard for this side to lock down. SCCC can feel very free with his movements, unless they get the signs. XXS, not quite going to get at those. SCCC quick with the reaction.
Sees them rotating in with that ward that they have on the river. Starting to get his farm on though, level 13 already on the Storm. Tied up with the Tinker. Just about 1,000 net worth though, tied up in levels that is.
Still, well, just the 15-minute mark coming up, 8 for 7 at the moment. NewBee immediately looking to smoke up. Ravage is there. Wanting to utilize KP and the gang there, making a beeline straight for XXS on this bottom lane. He is all alone, does not have a TP, so XXS,
He's looking pretty dead here.
see if he can play his way out of it, but it certainly looks to be unlikely. The rupture's upon him. He'll be closing in. Silence. He'll try and turn a fight, but with the boulder smash holding him in the blood right, it'll be a quick, easy kill for NewBee there off the back of the smoke.
And it's killing spree going for Mugi too, so pushes him closer and closer toward that Radiance, which will be very nice versus Lycan, because like the panel said, this is a game where Lycan wants to go book. You pretty much kind of need to versus Rupture, and having that extra Radiance miss rate can be super useful versus those books and those summons. Q, park top, as we see, this is like what a lot of Winter Wyverns and Aoi used to do a lot when he would be playing those lane pushing supports. Just goes top, constantly throws the lane in with Splinter Blast or whatever hero it may be.
Yeah, as you say, we definitely can expect to see NewBee turn the pressure up once that Bloodstone's on SCCC.
Yeah, Bloodstone and Radiance
That's
would
what
be
I'm
big
waiting
timers. They've got the mech though, and now we see KP farming I think this is a quad Ancient stack with Mugi here. It's a big injection of gold going their way. Mugi actually gets the majority of these last hits. He will have the Relic, but I wonder if they're going to prioritize giving them to him. Oh no, they actually give it to KP. Okay. So they want his hood instead. Seems to be more important for them. And there's also another massive Ancient stack too. So NewBee is really playing the economy war in this one. I mean, they're playing versus Tinker, so they understand they need to be keeping very far ahead in order to be able to press that high ground eventually. OP getting the first part of that Aghanims.
IG maybe wanting to smoke up, but Boca has one ready to pop.
They've got Darkness. They've got the level 4 Wolves online too to scout if Burning wants to throw them ahead so they can try to get those jumps with vision.
And let's see what they can find. As you say, the Wolves leading the way into the jungle.
They are spotted though. Faith did see those Wolves coming up with the Sentry Ward
And
they
they
have,
scan
and
it.
they scan right away. So they do see that smoke movement kind of happening with that Wolf reveal.
See if Boca can still get the jump in. KP's in the neighborhood, has got Ravage.
Not the hero you want to go on.
Absolutely not. Any fight close to this tower will result in NewBee being able to respond if they so wish. IG at least will take this tier 1 tower in the mid lane down.
Yep.
And the tower, more money into the pocket of Burning, pushing him closer towards that level 3 Necro. One recipe to go as he hits the amount for level 2.
Big slowdown in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Everyone just content with trying to get their next items online. The Hood on Tide, well, Relic is picked up on the Bloodseeker, Bloodstone is about to be done on Storm, so big item timings for NewBee coming out here. Well, IG doesn't have anything as massive coming out that close. It's the Book 3 is the only real one.
But
Aghanims is still,
And the Aghanims,
he's halfway.
Yeah, for sure. He's still got a bit of time to go, but
A little more than halfway, actually.
Kaka has to be a little careful here again. If XXS can close the gap,
Regen rune for SCCC with the Bloodstone being delivered. Maybe they'll try to make plays around that. It depends if they want to play with the Ravage or do they want to wait for the Bloodseeker Radiance. How do they gauge what's more important? I think the DD rune and the Regen Storm might want them to just force down this low tower. It's only 100 HP, so easy pickings for them. SCCC picks it up. Burning, scouting them out with the Wolves, but there is a Sentry Ward there, so they're able to notice that one, and they're going to start clearing that Ancient stack. Team Ancients.
Kaka, and
He
goes
jumping in.
here immediately. SCCC in the midst of it all. The Boulder Smash in the silence coming out to 2. They'll look towards Baboka first. Already on the sidelines though. OP starting to spam out the rockets. KP with the Ravage connects onto 3. Baboka safe for the timing by the Cold Embrace, but it's not enough. Baboka, he's finally down. Look at the first kill. Now KP's being turned towards by XXS. Burning, popping the ultimate. He's a little too low to dive. So NewBee will keep themselves all alive there. Only Baboka to fall, but definitely a great fight for NewBee. They get the Bloodstone charge.
He just jumps in.
He's ready to go. Bloodstone's there. He wants those charges.
Yeah, he actually got his regen burnt as he went in though. I thought he was trying to like jump in and then force him to use a bunch of spells and jump back and try to regen up and go in, but unfortunately loses that regen. But they do get at least Baboka, who doesn't actually have his ulti skilled up yet, so they don't really want to take a fight too much on IG. This is what that tells me. They just want to be going for those pickoffs and pressure for now. Aghanims, 480 gold away on the Tinker. That's another big one that actually enables them to take fights, because like we said during the draft and all that, NewBee's team fight is stronger. It's all about the Tinker getting those items in order to enable them.
Yeah, stepped out a little too far, Kaka.
Stun on the mark. And Bloodstone charge.
That's very, very nice for SCCC. Already up to the 14. Picking these up very quickly. XXS. Just to be careful still. NewBee in the neighborhood. But yeah, this Axe Tinker is really going to change a lot in these fights. SCCC and of course Mugi, very unlikely to build any sort of true strike or BKB at this stage. So that laser going to cause a lot of issues for these two. They try and run around the fight. If they don't control the Tinker, but as we've said, there's a lot of ways that NewBee can look to try and prioritize getting OP out of these fights.
They just don't have a way to find him is the first thing. They need some way to get the vision on him. So I think getting those like Guardian Greaves to pipe on Tidehunter and then trying to go for like a Blink Dagger I think could be really nice to get into the backline. But during this now, IG, they use their Book 3, they're going for that Roche. They have the sustain with the Cold Embrace too. NewBee does not have Ravage online. All they have is Magnetize.
They do
Looks
spot
like
it
they're
out.
trying to go for it though. Radiance is online for Mugi too.
Bloodbright as well, but Burning still is outside of the radius of the Bloodbright. So he should get away with this. They're heading towards it. Baboka though drops the ultimate straight away. The Boundless Strike as well. Connects onto 3. Holds NewBee back. So Burning gets the space to finish off Roche. Grab the Aegis. And you're nothing that NewBee can do to put a stop to that one. IG getting the objective.
Aghanim's finished up too, so fighting is very hard into that Tinker with that vision advantage that IG will mostly have in the engagements with the with the Wolves, as well as the Monkey King jumping around and the Night Stalker nighttime.
Smoke to be picked up on the side of NewBee.
Dire's top tower is
We'll see if they want to go for any sort of play. It will be into the Aegis. But they do have that Ravage. They have their ultimates.
They're drawing the line. Looks like they're telling SCCC to push out, and they're going to smoke near him, expecting IG to make a move, and they're going to catch them during that. That's exactly what it looks like it's going to be happening.
Mugi.
The Wolves are actually burning right now by Radiance.
Yeah, they don't realize what's going on, but still, SCCC jumps in to get the silence on to do. Immediately trying to go for success. They get themselves out of the float right. Mugi trying to finish off the Night Stalker. They'll get one now. They'll turn towards more burning, trying to get Kaka, but the Ravage comes out. KP holds it back. There's the Winter's Curse. KP beating deep into Mugi. Mugi kept alive though, the Grave!
The Grave is perfect!
Just in time. Faith keeps him alive. Baboka's gonna look to try and finish him off, but no, Faith managed to bring down Baboka. NewBee, they lose Kaka, but the rest of them kept alive there by some immaculate play from Faith.
So not only just the Grave there, but his weave. The weave ended up adding up so much when Mugi had an incredible amount of armor. It doesn't take that increased damage there from everybody. Very well executed fight by NewBee.
Absolutely, Faith just keeping his cool. We'll see it again here. I mean, SCCC, this man, he wants to rumble straight in each and every time as soon as there's an opportunity to jump forward. Getting XSS out of the fight is huge. SCCC knows there's no chance of being silenced. KP not holding back with the Ravage. And then look at this. So close to Mugi being brought down, but Faith at the last moment there with the Grave gets it. And as you say, with the weave already on Baboka, Baboka tried to jump chase him down, but the Dazzle had enough physical to bring him out. And NewBee staying strong amidst that fight. And of course, great news for SCCC. The Bloodstone charges continue to rise up to 17 now. As he's starting to close in on having the Orchid complete as well.
This is what we were talking about, the core matchups, right? The Bloodseeker versus the Lycan, he gets ruptured. He's very scared to do stuff in the fight. The Storm can access into the back to find that Wyvern, find that Tinker.
Oh, look at this though, Faith could be in trouble. He's being gone upon. Kaka trying to save him. The Boulder Smash does it.
Hits three.
Hits three. He will still be chased down. Faith has the chance to get the Grave off. Turns around with the 4-man weave. Faith is going to be chased down though. They will dive up. They will find the kill. We'll see if NewBee can do anything with the armor of IG ticking down low.
Every time the Ravage is expended, IG needs to just make those kind of plays. Just get full out aggressive, take objectives with that Lycan. And that's what they're doing.
And understandably, NewBee without that Dazzle, not having the confidence to do anything about that push. Tier 2 gone. Mugi, see if he finds anything at the moment. IG still all up on the top jungle. OP still very much with the lead in far in this game. 1300 on the Tinker. Going for the BKB.
That's one way.
Short.
It's one way to deal with the Storm Spirit. You have to rush an early BKB. It hurts you a bit, of course, because you never want to have that on a Tinker, but you need it in these type of games. You see Mugi going for the Manta style next into the BKB, I would assume, to deal with that laser, to deal with everything that the Tinker does dish out.
See what the plan is. They've got the smoke again. If NewBee want to try and go for another attempt at a catch.
Also have the Orchid too. That can be very nice to stop the Winter Wyvern from getting the curse off or the Cold Embrace. Q now does have a Glimmer Cape though, so do they actually have any reveal on NewBee? They do have Sentry Wards, but no type of dust, and it's only on the Dazzle. So they have to make sure they do have that reveal and burning. During all this, has his Wolves M-clicked onto SCCC, so they see exactly what
he's going in. He sees Baboka revealing himself, and straight away SCCC finds him in the tree line. Baboka cannot afford to poke his head out like that. If SCCC is anywhere near, with the amount of Bloodstone charges he has,
they're building up.
Easily close that gap.
Yeah, it's 18 charges. They knew he was there too. The Wolf was literally standing on him for that entire time, but Baboka just trying to push the waves out as much as possible and getting punished.
This is sort of turning out to the game that I was hoping it was going to be. Both mid laners just absolutely performing. SCCC versus OP, this Tinker versus Storm. Both at the top of the net worth. As we saw there, an opportunity that you cannot even try and tease underneath the nose of SCCC. He will be straight on top of it.
Big discrepancy is that, the Tidehunter is getting, good farm, good team fighter, while Night Stalker starts to fall behind. That's what happens when it's played as a core. Either you're getting lots of kills and you keep your momentum going, or it does start to stop and slow down.
Darkness
They do
is out.
need to find Faith now, though.
Faith, that's the one that they're happy taking out at the start of it. And immediately with OP coming in, they'll burst down the Dazzle. They will want to try and find something more. They do get the slow onto KP, ready to try and chase him down. KP does have Ravage. There it comes out on his death. Bloodright is going to connect on.
It's gonna connect on everyone.
And that's going to set up for SCCC. Can't going to come immediately in. Wukong Shaman comes out for the side of Momoka, but there's the Boulder Smash holding back the Monkey King. NewBee have lost 2 though. IG on the way out, looking to disengage. Off the back of what was a very nice little combo there from NewBee. Didn't quite find the kills that they may have hoped for. They got burning, nothing more. But we saw there, I mean, if that Ravage and Bloodright didn't come out, that could have got a lot messier for NewBee. So they do force IG back.
Mugi needs to get a BKB. I don't think Manta's even the right one before that. And, okay, yeah, he switches it up.
He's listening to you, Fogged.
He like tried to walk into that fight, ate like 2 rockets and a laser, or maybe just 2 rockets, and he was already too low after running into Monkey King ult. So in order for him to get into those fights, definitely needs that. But the combo there, the Ravage with the Bloodright is super threatening if they're able to get that one successfully versus IG. The next item of choice for the Tinker will be the Shivas. And there's something else I'd like to point out too, because OP does it every single game, and I see a lot of Tinkers actually stray away, is he gets the armor at level 10 and he also gets the health. The health is more common, but the armor one people don't really gauge on. But in this game, there's a Storm Spirit, so you know you're going to probably get jumped on in a lot of these situations, so that bonus armor is very relevant in these games. Like 8 int is, it can be good, but it's only 8. Like 6 armor when you're actually getting like gone on is much more important. And he always does this. Almost always.
I wouldn't be surprised as well if we don't see NewBee try and look for the fight until they have these three BKBs. Or so the 2 BKBs at least that they're working on.
Yeah.
You see Mugi. They absolutely need them.
Yeah, the laser is way too much of an issue. The rockets as well, it's too much damage. And there's an arcane rune on the Tinker too. So that can be really devastating for the next fight if he's able to stay away from everything.
And of course, on the other side of things, IG, they certainly will wanting to be fighting before those BKBs come out.
Yeah. Right now it's no Ravage for 20 seconds too, so they're trying to capitalize on that.
Dire's bottom tower has
Knowing that
the
they still
bottom.
have some downtime, but now Bloodseeker does have that BKB finished up.
Baboka has got the Wukong's command back online. That second point in it as well. That boosted armor certainly can make the difference.
This could be scary right now for IG. The fresh BKB finished up. If there was
Baboka's got good vision of them here. Out come the rockets, the lasers onto 4. Mugi pops the BKB, looking at what's burning. The Blood Rocket next burning. He's stuck. The Rupture's there. The Boulder Smash as well. SCCC moving forward. There's the Ravage. KP holding them in place. They take down burning. Baboka on the back lines looking to get the Wukong's command out. Will bring down Faith. OP immediately TPing out of this one. He'll get himself back to safety. But SCCC, he's in with KP. Looking for Baboka. The silence connects. Cold Embrace for Q buying some time, but it's not enough. The damage from the Bloodright goes through. Gets the double kill for Mugi. Again, OP's back in with the laser spam, trying to force NewBee back. It's doing enough. NewBee forced back up to the high ground.
that arcane rune, but the Tidehunter gets in perfect position for the Ravage, and they isolate Burning. He's unable to do pretty much anything in the fight. That's the issue, is with that Rupture. Gets Ruptured, he cannot do anything.
And again, we're seeing the difference that BKB on Mugi makes. He's certainly able to stick around in the fight. I believe gets out at least a couple of Blood Rights through the duration. The silence does the work. These Bloodstone charges, they are constantly going up and up and up for SCCC. And yeah, we'll see it again here.
There's a very good positioning too. IG or Baboka on that high ground getting the 4-man laser on the start, but yeah, it's Burning who's just unable to do anything in these fights. Just gets brought down very quickly.
And we saw there as well a bit of an interesting interaction that will certainly work against IG's lineup. When they're throwing out that laser and then the Winter's Curse, everyone's missing. So suddenly it does nothing. It holds them in position, but the synergy is working against IG.
Yeah, they don't really have...
No damage is done.
It's if they curse the Bloodseeker hitting somebody, then the physical damage is there. But yeah, of course, if the laser's there, it doesn't count. But anyone else, if the Bloodseeker gets cursed on him, they don't really have like physical heroes. It's the Storm is the only one who's really doing the right click.
Double damage.
DDIX success, he as well going for BKBs. BKBs almost expected all round this game.
Yeah.
Baboka still looking towards his own.
SCCC is getting out of control with the Bloodstone charges though.
is.
21 with BKB, and you look at Burning's net worth too. He has been stagnated for quite a while because of what happens in the team fights. He never is able to survive, never able to really do anything because he just gets ruptured. It's a very hard interaction to deal with as a Lycan.
Again, Roshan is back up. Both teams with definite interest in taking it, and in fact, Burning's heading into the pit. Straight in.
He's able to kill it at a relative pace. He probably will have to expend the book though if he wants to do that. They do have, I believe, the Solar Crest? No, okay, just Medallion on the Boca to help that speed up too.
And Ravage literally just came back online for KP.
Oh, NewBee's making the move in. They don't have Blink yet on KP, but they're defensively weaving up. They're making this go.
They're ready to run in and go. Triple C zips in immediately, looking for Birdie. Wants the BKB, grabs Birdie back. The Mortal Smash as well. Birdie getting bursted down low. The Cold Embrace is there for Q. The Ravage takes him out though. That's Birdie down for 50 seconds.
Oh my
They've lost
God.
3 as NewBee just move in.
These BKBs, as soon as both heroes become into Magic, they just run in, instantly target Burning, rupture him up, fight one right from there.
Getting absolutely crazy. And 19 to 13, 8k gold lead now for NewBee.
And it's Aegis and Cheese on a Storm Spirit who already has 24 Bloodstone charges. The best Aegis carrier in Dota with all of this on his arsenal now. It's getting scarier and scarier for IG. It's becoming the Tinker versus the world.
It really
Burning is
Really
completely getting shut down. XXS is an offlane Night Stalker, unable to have that kind of impact that we
Look
do
at this
see
again.
from a lot of offlaners.
I mean, who needs to blink on KP where you just have SCCC zipping in, finding Burning, and despite Q's best efforts with the Cold Embrace, there's just too much magical flying through. They still burst him down.
And
Straight into the pit, no messing around.
Full-blown defensive weave, plus Guardian Greaves, plus Pipe. They're actually so resistant to all the damage that's coming out.
Look at
like
that.
the Wukong's command gets completely countered by weave, even though it doesn't do a crazy amount of damage anyway. SCCC throwing
He's
his
loving
arms
it.
in there. He's having a great game. He only died that one time in the mid lane, and ever since then it's been
Oh, and he's nearly got an
him
Aghanim.
crushing it.
He's got it.
He's got it finished.
Aghanims is out here for the Storm Spirit.
Oh, we love this. He was one of the ones that I want to say almost like kind of debuted when we saw that like 3 or 4 man pull in several different tournaments that he did have.
I mean, this is going to be so hard for IG to deal with. I mean, we saw there, if SCCC can continue to make those sort of initiations, how do you deal with this Ag Storm Spirit, nearly level 25 as well? Getting absolutely out of control.
They're smoking up, but that ward, that nice little cute ward by IG actually sees them smoke. So now they're all going to get back to their base, and it's just going to be a little bit of wasted time for NewBee. While XSS continues pushing out top, since he's like, okay, if they're going to smoke from bottom and make their way all the way top, it's a heavy committal for just a Night Stalker at this point. They are picking him out though. SCCC does have a lot of mana to work with, so if they actually can get relatively close to him, he can probably zip from that mid lane and get pretty close.
There's a DD here as well. NewBee want to grab their hands in it, and SCCC says, yes, please. If he can close the
making the
gap, he
move.
gets the kill, and he's straight up. There he goes, finds Baboka.
Yeah, Kaka started to make the way up there to find anyone who's positioned, because they saw everybody else kind of bail to their base, hoping that they catch one, and they do. They get Baboka.
Another tower taken as well for NewBee as they move in on the bottom lane.
It's getting very hard for them to deal with what NewBee's got. With all that heavy team fight, IG's just really struggling to fight versus these 2 BKBs.
And we know how well a stacked Tinker can hold the high ground, but the thing is, we've seen, NewBee, they have ways of jumping up. When it gets to pushing up to the high ground, there's nothing to really stop SCCC from just going straight in, catching out OP, and then if he takes that Tinker away from IG's lineup, the push becomes relatively easy.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only one right now, really. He's 18,000 net worth, and next on his team is 10,000, and it's the Lycan who's countered completely by the Bloodseeker Rupture. And now it's KP does have the Blink Dagger finished up on the Tidehunter, so he can just blink in and get the fight going. Just blink in Ravage, catch 1 or 2. And the fight will be very difficult for IG to take with just that 1 BKB on Tinker and Burning nowhere near anything of the sort, building up toward an AC next.
Here we have it, NewBee. So they want to force the issue. I mean, at the same time, they are going to be feeling very comfortable with their position.
Oh yeah, the pits, this is perfect. They know Burning is completely shut down. They're like, this is their game to lose. They're in an extremely comfortable position, and it's really hard for IG to really come back. It's gonna have to come through mistakes.
SCCC as well, as we saw with the level 25, of course, taking the extra duration on the Vortex to really maximize on his potential with his Aghanims. I mean, essentially, they've got a couple of Ravages now.
Yeah.
NewBee's lineup.
The Blood Right is no joke either versus majority of IG's lineups. Like we said, just the Tinker as the Magic community, and now it's 90% of the map control is NewBee's way. Getting very deep aggressive wards down, just farming up the whole map. But Boca's trying to find anything on the map. Look where he's farming. He's farming a medium camp, trying to put down some wards, do whatever he can to get that farm.
He's
But
been
other than
working
that,
on
it's
this
just
BKB
NewBee.
for so long.
Yeah.
The twins.
Very, very far behind the majority of the cores on IG's lineup in comparison to NewBee. Dyer, they will
They get
scan
the
it.
scan
They
on
know
him
he's
too.
there. They're
They know
coming out
something's up.
hunting up in the tree line. Should be fine though, and indeed, will get himself just far enough away so that NewBee can't quite spot him out.
Yeah, they're suffocating IG completely though. The map is all of NewBee's now. Aegis does get reclaimed, but there's still the cheese, I believe, or did they actually end up using that one?
I think they give it to NewBee.
They did give it a movie,
They
okay.
give it to NewBee. And as we said, no real reason to rush it as Triple C playing it safe. He's finished off a Lincoln Sphere now as well. So with the Lincolns,
Pretty much 6
BKB,
slotted almost.
he is absolutely good to go.
No, can change the boots or something later on.
Eventually get that Bloodthorn as well,
Yeah.
which would be nice. What is the plan here for IG? They almost certainly getting to the territory where they're hoping that NewBee make a massive blunder on the attempt to go up to high ground.
It's so hard for them right now. OP's trying to farm this Hex, which could be the one thing that they have to deal with SCCC, but SCCC has already got the Lincolns finished out to block at least the initial Hex surprise that's going to be coming out. So they have to just, yeah, they have to hope Rover extensions and let the Tinker laser rockets start building up. Burning still been doing a good job with his wolves, just scouting out wherever NewBee is, but it's still too hard for them to take fights around all that vision.
And she said it's just so incredibly poor at this stage of the game, the Lycan.
Yeah.
Kaka's Earth Spirit nearly catching up to Burning
And
at this stage.
It's getting harder and harder. The difference is becoming more and more massive. Last 10 minutes, it's been all NewBee. Almost 20,000 gold lead.
Oh, I like his thinking. Baboka, queuing up the Rapier. I mean, definitely at this stage it's the item to go for.
Oh, he might be able to get a courier snipe here, though.
Oh, well,
there it is.
A couple of wards gone.
1-2.
SCCC
is like
on the hunt, though. Does Baboka get away with this one for free? I mean, SCCC has already made one big zip.
on the prowl. Oh, turns into a tango on the high ground.
Looks like he'll be okay. SCCC is going to stop hunting. I hope he goes for it. I hope he gets it. The Rapier Monkey King has a lot of potential. He's still a long way away from it, though. I mean, he's staying there. He's got a TP.
They also, yeah, so NewBee also has a 30,000 experience lead. He's not going to get a Rapier Owen. He's going to.
Is he all right? Is he still in the booth, Baboka?
I mean, they can't leave their base. They're completely trapped. Versus this Storm Spirit with 25 Bloodstone charges, they have no map control whatsoever. They're getting vision with the wolves and stuff, but they can't really make anything of it. They're going for, this is what we call the Desperation Smoke, but it's also with the Hex first picked up, so that's the surprise Hex.
True.
Can they actually find the Storm Spirit and pick him off instantly? It's going to be hard.
I mean, it would
AP's
be
getting
such
closer
a
toward the
massive
area.
kill if they can. Wolves are on and they have the vision, SCCC.
They want it, but everybody's in the area. The Dazzle's
They've got
in
to
the
pop
back
that
too.
Lincoln's. Pops down the first remnant. There's the Lincoln's pop. OP does get in with a Hex. BKB pops as well. OP trying to do it. KP comes in with a Ravage. OP, he's got a TP out of there. Realizes it's time for him to get out. There's the zip forward.
Two-man pull.
Two-man Vortex brings them back into the combo of the Earth Spirit. That's going to be 2 down. Immediate buyback from Q. XX is popping the BKB, trying to get himself out of there, but SCCC zips forward. Takes down another double kill for the Storm Spirit. Q's there with the Winter's Curse. Will hold them back. Provides time for Burning to get out of there at least, but Q, he's going to be taken down a second time. Triple kill for SCCC.
God, like 29 Bloodstone charges now, 71.9 mana
Drum
per
roll
second.
and applause. SCCC's loving it.
NewBee's feeling super confident now.
And absolutely every reason to be feeling that way. Jump forward from KP. Push onto Burning's SCCC ready to zip into the base, looking for the action. Does get hexed up. Boulder smashes down to Burning. Can they keep Burning alive? There's the laser. Burning to back up. OP spam enough to keep NewBee away from finishing off the kill onto the Lycan.
Objectives. The buildings.
Are fortified.
I've got the fortification. As we talked about, OP's Tinker, it can do so much in terms of slowing down these pushes. They just need to jump on him once, though.
Middle tower.
They'll get the tier 3, but they won't get the barracks.
They're still playing, you know, they're very confident in the game with the way that they're, you know, they're acting and everything with like the chat wheel spam, but they're still playing it very smart. You know, this is such an important game. 25k gold lead. We're gonna take a look at this fight.
I mean, they made the best attempt to go, OP straight in with the BKB.
Just gets instantly ruptured, and he has to He has to get out of the fight, and
He
from there,
knows that he can't stick around.
from there, it's just way too hard. Beautiful pull though by SCCC. But it's still so hard, you know, even if they are able to somehow lock down SCCC and get like burst damage on him, the Dazzle's just chilling in the back, ready for the grave every single time.
Certainly a cute little call from Q to make to get that buyback in. I think if he didn't come in with that play, Burning almost certainly would have been dead.
Yeah.
So offering up that fact that he goes down twice to keep Burning in the game. Little things like that that can keep IG holding on, but they indeed are so far behind. 42 minutes coming up, 26,000 net worth lead as SCCC just continues to go crazier and crazier in this final game of the series.
Yeah. And now they even have the Lotus Orb on Kaka to deal with the Hex. You know, to remove that one always. Full Bloodthorn now finished too on SCCC.
That's insane.
The advantage is becoming impossible for IG to deal with it. And Baboka's just running around as a tree in the enemy jungle. And he's just trying to keep, like, he's trying to find some farm, cut waves wherever he can, but every time he shows, he'll get jumped by the Storm Spirit. And everybody else on IG is literally just trapped in the base. They can't go anywhere.
He has to be careful. There is that NewBee ward there as well. If he comes towards that other camp.
So they actually buy the Tome, give it a Mugi, and Mugi's now level 25 for that 100% uptime on Bloodright, 5-second cooldown, 6-second silent duration. And Kaka's on the prowl. He's looking for Baboka somewhere. He's just trying to roll through trees constantly.
I think they did see him underneath
They
that
did,
wall.
right?
Yeah.
They did for a second.
We're kind of leaving him be for now. Just maintaining control around the Roche pit. IG.
I don't know what IG can do in this game. I really don't know how they can take any of this, because now with Aegis and Cheese, it's going to be impossible for them to touch NewBee.
They can certainly stall a little bit, as we've seen with the March spam and such from Tinker. But NewBee,
How do they kill anyone? They can stall, but
question.
they can't. They can kill maybe the supports, but these guys have so many beefy frontliners that it's pretty much impossible.
Aegis back in the hands of SCCC. Mugi has the cheese. Starting to cap out as well. We've got Cheesewhat still on the Earth Spirit as well.
Yeah.
2 cheeses here for the side of NewBee. They'll look to take in the shrines.
OP's trying to continue at least some of the split push to at least force some reaction.
I mean, it's so scary and hard for him to do so.
Yeah.
SCCC being anywhere close to being in the neighborhood will make the play upon him.
NewBee's being so patient though. They're still just like, okay, let's clean out the shrines, make sure our lanes are pushed out properly, and then we can try to make that move. But still, just trying to clear out the vision, keep that suffocation going, get that massive advantage, almost 30k gold lead, getting closer and closer to the 40,000 experience lead.
Baboka has got that demon edge. He's getting there slowly but surely.
He knows the win condition.
Needs that rapier. Will he get the chance to finish it off? I mean, at this pace, with NewBee, as you say, playing as safe as they are, it could just about happen.
He might get it, but he is very susceptible to dying, Owen.
Yeah, it would be a question how long he's able to keep it in his own hands once he has it.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Oh, Kaka actually spots Baboka, and SCCC makes the jump across the map.
And there is no escape for that man. Straight down, another charge into the Bloodstone.
30 now.
Storm.
Oh, and a regen. How convenient.
I'm getting a second wind.
So now it's 45 minutes in. We have the first double catapult wave starting to come out. Maybe NewBee will time their push with this one. As it looks like they're doing so. Mugi going bottom to deal with that push coming out. Top isn't really in the best situation. But SCCC jumps up there and he finishes that up. Wants all these 3 waves to push in heavily with this massive double wave that comes out at the 45-minute mark. IG just still unable to leave the base with 3 or 4 of their heroes. Burning now finally gets a way to get some farm done toward bottom. Gets his Ogre Club, finished up the AC, so he's trying to build toward that BKB.
I mean, they just can't do anything at all at this stage, IG. Until that, maybe when the BKB's there and Burning, if he gets super lucky with the crits under his ultimate form.
Still super unlikely. Just so much heal, so much sustain, and they can just rupture him, right? It is just so hard for them in this game.
The darkness is summoned by XXS. NewBee. When are they going to try and push up?
They've got Agent and Cheese. They might just go try to force it soon.
He's starting to play around with it now. First Lotus Orb up on the Storm. gonna bounce back out of the Wyvern. Baboka looking to hold them back with a boundless strike. Lasers starting to be spammed out. They're forced out the fortification. SCCC zips forward. Again, the lasers and the rockets slowly but surely forcing NewBee slightly back. They won't quite get the melee racks. But again, as we can see, very little damage as a whole being taken by the side of NewBee. They're back in.
They are going to be able to claim it. Yeah, even throwing the BKB usage just to make sure they get that racks finished up. 34k lead. Now they're going to push out that bottom wave.
Incredible lead.
IG's looking to try to get some pickups though on the back of this while they're retreating, but NewBee's way too quick to get out.
Yeah, the chances of that happening incredibly slim at this stage. SCCC may even just find Baboka into the banana, brings him in. SCCC, another charge as he takes down Baboka. He really wants that rapier, but he's not getting it at this stage. The head shakes, the wows coming out from NewBee.
They know they've got this one. They're feeling super
They're
confident.
they're just enjoying the moment.
Yeah, Moon Shard now being consumed by SCCC. IG just trying their best to try to delay it, but delaying the inevitable for sure. SCCC tries to make the commitment in.
Linkers has been popped, does get Hex up a KP! In with the 4-man Ravage, the Bowder Smash! Comes down onto 2, OP pops the BKB, trying to keep them back. OP TPing back to base as Mugi's going for him.
Oh, they cleaned him up. There's no buyback either.
Much. Tinker's out for 80 seconds, Burning being forced back. As IG back towards the base, Winter's Curse does come out onto the Titan, but GG is called. NewBee take the series, they'll be moving on. And with a very, very convincing game 3 there. SCCC on the storm. Again, these final picks of the draft, everything for the team. There was just no way they could control this guy. We saw them put pressure on him at the start. In the mid lane, it just wasn't enough. I think since he got the Bloodstone, he didn't die again, did he? He only died the once again.
Yeah, he only died there in the lane. Beautiful performance by NewBee. The Bloodseeker just constantly rupturing, Burning in the fights. Burning literally